Welcome to today's lesson where we're going to be learning how to summarize a story. So, taking it from a really long version to making a really short, simplified version. So, what does it actually mean to summarize? Well, summarize basically means to retell the major ideas or events in a text in your own words. And that's really important that it's in your own words. And the second important point is that it's much shorter than the original. Okay? And as I said to you up above, it's actually really pretty simple. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. So, 3 steps to summarize a text. The first one, quite obviously, read and understand the original text. You've got to make sure that you read it very carefully and that you actually understand what you're reading. All right, once you've done that, you go on to step 2. Now you need to sort out the main points from the details, because as you'll see, when it comes to summarizing, the details aren't really that important. And finally, and this is really important, you need to take those main points and rephrase them or write them in your own words. You can't just copy exactly what it says in the text. So, let's have a look. Step 1. I suggest you read the text silently to yourself so that you understand the story. That's really important. So there, for example, is our text. All right. As you can see, it's got lots of details in there. All right. So you're going to read that quietly to yourself a couple of times if you need to make sure you understand what this text is actually trying to tell you. All right. And then you move on to step 2. Read it again, and now, this time, sort out the details from the main points. All right. And what you can do is make some annotations, so that's notes, on the right of the text, whether those passages are important or if they're just details. So look at each paragraph, all right, and decide for yourself, what is the main thing happening in this paragraph? What's the most important thing? A couple of other things to remember, and then we can move to step 3 here, all right, is to rephrase the main points to write your summary. And this is where you need to, really important, remember not to include details, all right, and to keep it short. That's the whole point with a summary. Also, remember to check the punctuation. So you need to make sure you've got capital letters, full stops, and commas, particularly if you've got long sentences. So, there's our text again. Let's look at an example now. All right. So, as I said earlier, the first thing, focus on the main idea that each paragraph is trying to tell you. All right. So, as we already know, a paragraph usually has one main idea and then lots of supporting sentences. You need to decide which of those paragraphs, where is the main or what is the main idea in that paragraph, and then write it down in your own words. Okay? Really important, ignore information that's not important. So if it's got additional things or additional information in the paragraph and it's got lots of adjectives, ignore that. That's not important. In this case, you don't want to try and overemphasize things. You want to try and keep it simple. And finally, really important, use your own words. All right. So you're going to have to try and think of synonyms, right, for some of the words that they use in the text. All right. So let's look at the original text. Here we've got that first paragraph there. Which says Hurricane Katrina, which struck the American southern states in the early hours of 29th of August 2005, had a devastating effect on the region and the millions of people living there, including the famous city of New Orleans. So as you can see, that's one sentence there, but it's really, really, really long. It's got lots of details in there. I just want to know, what is the main thing that whole opening paragraph is trying to tell us? All right. So a summary of that paragraph might look something like this. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina caused lots of damage in America. So in 2005, that's when, Hurricane Katrina, that's what, caused lots of damage. Again, that's giving you a bit of what it did. And where did this happen? In America. All right. So as you can see, I've gone from a really long sentence there, all right, or paragraph, almost 40 words, to a sentence that's probably under 10 words. All right. And finally, you can use the self-assessment grid sheet here to actually try and work out for yourself how well you did with your summary. So first of all, when you've written your summary, check that you've got capital letters at the start of your sentences. Make sure you've got full stops at the end of sentences. Your sentences should not be too long. You saw my sentence there, about 10 words or less. Commas used to break down long sentences if you have them. All right, remember commas are where we take a slight pause. Really important, all right, is my text can be understood by someone who does not know what it is about. So in other words, you should be able to give this to somebody who hasn't read it before, and they should immediately be able to read your summary and know what you're talking about. And lastly, details have been left out. All right, so in other words, you don't need to include loads and loads of extra details in there. You just want the main idea. So there it is. That's how to write a summary. Hopefully you found this useful, and I will hopefully be posting another text that you guys can have a go at summarizing, or you can look back on the PowerPoint that I've just gone through, and you can try and summarize the text in there yourself. Good luck.